What's going on YouTube? It's Tom here, and I'm back with another knife steel testing video. Today we have two steels that are talked about a lot and in many eyes regarded as pretty much the exact same steel, but today we'll see the difference between the two. So I have a zero tolerance 0609 in S35VN, and I also have a Spyderco Sage 2 in S30V. Let's talk a little bit about the steels here real quick before we start to get into testing. So starting with S30V, it is one of the rare steels that are actually specifically developed for cutlery. I believe it's been out since around the early 2000s or so. A lot of knife makers assisted in the research, so that includes Phil Wilson, Sal Glesser, Ernest Emerson, Tony Marfione, William Harsey Jr., Tom Mayo, Jerry Hassam, Paul Boss, and Chris Reeve. A lot of big names there, and a lot of those knife makers actually still use the steel to this day. As far as S35VN is concerned, that was developed in '09 by Chris Reeve and Crucible. There were reports that S30V was a little bit on the chippy side, and Chris Reeve wanted to create a steel that was real similar, but was a little bit tougher. Crucible says that it is a bit tougher with the exact same wear resistance, but as far as user reports go, that's actually not the case. A lot of people say that S35VN holds an edge just a little bit less when cutting abrasive materials like cardboard or rope. We'll be doing the cardboard cutting today, so we'll really see. As far as the chemistry of the two goes, they're very, very, very similar. The only difference really is S35VN has a decrease in carbon and a 1% decrease in vanadium. So that could be a little bit of where possibly we lose a little bit of edge retention. And it also has added niobium and nitrogen. So that adds to the toughness a little bit. Otherwise, their composition is almost identical, other than just really minute amounts that would pretty much just be trace amounts of the elements. So let's talk about the specs of the knives here real quick, because they're both sharpened to 18 degrees per side on my Wicked Edge, and then have a 20-degree micro bevel put on them with my Spyderco Sharp Maker through the coarse, or I guess they're technically medium stones, and then the fine white ceramics. The 0609 here has a blade stock thickness of 118 thousandths, and it is 23 thousandths behind the edge. The Sage 2 is 110 thousandths blade stock, so just slightly thinner, and it is 16 thousandths behind the edge, so 7 thousandths thinner behind the edge. You guys can actually probably see between the two edge bevels here. Let me pull them both up for you guys. You guys can pretty much see there that the edge bevel on the ZT is quite a bit bigger than the Sage 2 there. Without further ado, let's get into some testing. Alright, so just like the previous test, sharpened at the exact same angle, touched up on the Sharp Maker at the exact same angle, we'll be cutting cardboard, double-walled cardboard, until it can no longer slice computer paper cleanly, like so. Let's get into it. let's talk results here. That was pretty interesting. It kind of did how I thought it would. As far as cardboard cutting goes, that was a lot of cardboard. I'll just say that I cut well over 400 feet of cardboard or so for these two knives, which is pretty impressive. S30V did 242.58 feet. That was a lot of cardboard. That cut a lot longer than I thought it would. S35VN, you guys leave a comment down below. Pause the video, leave a comment down below, and guess if S35VN did better or worse. Alright, ready? S35VN did 186.94 feet. So S30V did 77% better. That's huge. I'm really wondering why it's that big of a difference. It might be because the edge was a little bit thicker behind the edge on the ZT, which required more force, which kind of blunted it out maybe. Maybe it's that loss of 1% of vanadium in the S35VN. Maybe the ZT just didn't have a good heat treat, or maybe the Spyderco had a great heat treat. It's hard telling without actual scientific ways of testing this kind of stuff. That being said, my tests aren't completely scientific to begin with, so it's just a benchmark for people who are looking at these two steels. Either way, both of them are fantastic steels. As far as being comfortable, both these knives are a lot more comfortable than the other knives I've tested. The Sage 2 actually became a little bit uncomfortable for me later, though. If you guys can kind of see on my finger there, the big red mark. That happened when I was actually using the finger choil up here, and my finger just kept grazing the cardboard, which kind of became a little bit uncomfortable, because then the rest of the test I had to choke all the way down, and it doesn't leave you a whole lot of extra room here. The edge is pretty far away from your index finger. Anyhow, interesting results. Leave a comment down below, kind of maybe summarizing why you guys think this went so different, like just why S35VN performed so poorly when it's actually upsold as a better steel most of the time. It goes to show that for everyone that's complaining about all the S30V recently and they want the upgraded S35VN, it's actually probably not that much better, and it might actually be a decent amount worse. So anyhow, just some food for thought. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below, and hit that subscribe button for more cut testing, because there will be more testing to come. I will post a link to the 0609 down in the description below. If you guys use it, it helps support the channel, so that way I can continue to buy knives and test them for you guys. The Sage 2 is now discontinued. If I can find the link on Amazon for it, I'll post one up. Anyhow, thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.